Aloha, everyone. Joshua Hayes at bigwavetrading.com. I hope everyone has a fun and very safe Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to everyone that served. When we get back to business on Tuesday, I'm going to be beyond fully invested because I got a good signal tonight. Now, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm okay with the risk, but I'm going to go pretty hard in this one. So it's going to get over probably 50% of my non-margin account value, which is going to put me well into margin now. And that's how quickly it can happen because we've kind of been void for signals, but there's a lot of setups out there. So we'll go ahead and review that. And then I want to run through my weekly squeeze scan. But first off, the market, it is pulling back. Guys, I see a giant V-shaped cup with handle forming, possibly an inverse head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder with handle. You could call it a double bottom base with now a handle, but boy, oh boy, it looks really good. And the SPY, same thing. I wish that the IWM was leading. I really do. Great fun things can happen when it's leading. That's how we get stocks like ALTS, which was a new swing trade yesterday. How about that one day gain, guys? 24%. I got filled with a buy stop at 725, limit order at 730. I got filled in the morning. Come Tuesday morning, I'm selling 20% at the market at the open of ALTS. Congratulations to anybody that trend joined. I would love to get 24% gains on our new swing trades every single session, but that's just not what happens. Now, with that being said, with this gain, Fridays or Thursdays, excuse me, Thursday's low a day will now be the final stop. Initially, it was this low right here. We're going to be moving the final stop up to Thursday's low a day being the final stop. So I'm going to sell 20% at the market here. What I have left, 50% of the stops go there. The other 50% go there. On top of that, we reconstituted the quarterly portfolio. It did do a little bit worse this most recent quarter than the SPY, but not by much. And it did better than the FFTY and ARKK. And don't forget, the quarter before, November into February, we basically almost, what was it, 6x'd the market return. Because I think the S&P 500 was like up 4%, and we were up nearly 25%. So that's what we're looking for during uptrends. And during downtrends, this is what we want to have. We want to lose. We're always going to lose more than the market because of the nature of that portfolio and the stocks we put into it. But we always should do better, I should say, in the long term. And since 2018, we should have a 240% outperformance versus the SPY based on my crude math. So the quarterly portfolio is fine. The long-term portfolio went and bought the dips on the way down here, and the swing trades are working out. Now, if I could just get my day trading to work out, I just seem to be taking small loss after small loss. Something I wonder if I'm ever going to get that right. But you know what? We'll keep working on it each and every day. So this evening, there's quite a few stocks that, look very good to me, like FCX, FLR off the lows, KTOS, it's wedging higher, but still looks good. WMB right off the 50 SMA, LEU forming basically a cup. We're now looking for a handle. Loma is starting to break out of a cup pattern. I mean, there's some good looking charts everywhere. And today, NNE, OKLO, OKLO, my goodness, if this could just give me a handle. And speaking of handles, HIMS, look at this handle forming on HIMS. This is gorgeous. I would do a buy stop above the recent highs, but I'm right now focused on the stocks that make my weekly squeeze scan. And that's where I'm putting the buy stops. And since I'm already heavily invested, nearly fully invested on full margin, it just doesn't make sense for me to spread out my capital on so many names. HIMS is a great stock. It is a leader. It's probably one I'm going to regret not doing a buy stop above the recent highs on. So just to let you know, this is a cup with handle. HIMS is a leader. I do have it in my long-term portfolio. We'll see if it plays out. Cyber starting to form that right side of its base as well. SMR with the OKLO move. I mean, it's just beautiful, guys. It's absolutely beautiful. And then there's all the quantum plays. I never did get my real true handle in QBTS. It just kind of wedged higher without me. but but the quantum names, I mean QSI today, I mean we're forming right sides of cup patterns and handle patterns everywhere out there. I think one of the best looking ones I saw was KD. After today, it still looks good, but we got a lot of these charts like HIMS and KD shaping up, and these are the best looking cup with handles that I've seen in 12 years. Now, this evening, I do have a long signal on the swing side, and it also happened to be the only fresh stock that entered my weekly squeeze scan, and it did it on today. Today it entered my weekly squeeze scan, and it was and so that was the first stock this entire past week, and it gave me a legit swing signal from my CANSLIM and Perfect Speculator scan, which are my top two quality scans. Stock has a 97 composite, 96 or 98 EPS, 96 relative strength, so it's a true leader. But first, let's just go through all the stocks in the weekly squeeze scan. Then we'll get you on your way to Memorial Day weekend. No end-of-day sell signals, so 0 50% end-of-day sell signals, 0 100% end-of-day sell signals. And let's look at the stock that I'm regretting never going. I told you guys when it was forming this handle, I wanted to do a buy stop above this high. Decided not to do it when it gapped up, pulled back right to the level, still didn't buy it. That is a mistake. It's still within, it's still like it's not extended, but I would kind of now need to see it undercut and reclaim that level to do anything with CRS, but it looks good. MSTR kind of falling off the books, and since it had heavier volume today, before today, even right now as I make this video lesson, because I haven't adjusted anything at Trader Workstation yet or Interactive Brokers, this was a weird V-shaped cup with handle forming. After today's session, with it rolling over below the 21 EMA on a heavier volume, I'm going to cancel that trade. So I'm going to cancel my buy stop on the books on MSTR so I can put that capital into the new long position, which we are almost at. ATGE, if you guys remember, went long back here. Really wish we could have bought that breakout above the recent highs, but earnings were coming up, and thanks to regulation FD, it's just a binary event, and I can't go heavy before a binary event. Congratulations, anyone that did. But I still have a small position in ATGE. The trailing 21 EMA and 50 SMA is where my final stops are. 21 EMA partial stops, 50 SMA final stop. UTI, no setup, and we're now to the only new stock that made my weekly squeeze scan this week, EAT. So EAT made my weekly squeeze scan today, bouncing off the 21 EMA and 50 SMA, which are both curling higher with the 200 SMA above the 500 EMA while it builds out a cup pattern. Beautiful, 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 beautiful low risk entry. And normally, oh, I got a 2-day chart up here. Ha ha ha. Was I showing a regular chart? MSCR, so I just messed it up whenever I went to eat. So anyway, what I see here with eat, we're forming a cup pattern. Super high quality, CANSLIM quality, perfect speculator quality stock. I got the 21 over the 50 SMA. I got the 200 SMA above the 500 EMA. Everything is completely lined up. I got a pocket pivot point signal. The only thing I would have liked to have seen today is heavier above average volume and the relative strength line hitting new highs. It didn't happen, but that's okay. So with it being in the weekly squeeze scan and with it being a legit swing signal, I'm willing to risk 2R, which is 2% of my entire account capital on this trade if it can break out above 155.24 using this as my final stop. So let's say it breaks out and works initially on day one on Tuesday. I'll have a trailing stop below Tuesday's low a day, a trailing stop below Friday's low a day, and my final stop right here. This will prevent a full 2R loss, but if this stock triggers, fills, and fails immediately, can I handle losing 2% of my account capital? Yes. In this quality of a stock, yes, I can risk that. So EAT is a legit swing signal, and it's also a weekly squeeze scan signal. Now, another thing you could do is put 1R, get in now above the high of the day with 1R, and the next 1R of your capital above this high day right here. I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. Then there's TATT, no setup there for me. ALNY, no real setup that I like there. CRK, FEIM, we entered this stock. We got long yesterday on this breakout. So far, it's kind of stalling. So where do I have my stops? With this heavy volume, here, 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 final stop right there. Initially, I was going to let a final stop here, but now this is 2 days of stalling action at this breakout level. I want to go ahead and just save that count capital for the next signal. TGLS, I put a buy stop on the books above this high of the day yesterday. So TGLS is a buy stop that's on the books. AGX, no handle. BBAR, I don't know. I don't think so. I'm going to pass on that. Roblox, that's a regret. Should have done the buy stop there. No excuse. Just completely screwed that trade up. APEI, no setup. RDVT, got the signal here right before earnings. Can't do it before a binary event. My goodness, if I could have. What are we up in it? 24%. Would have had about 20% of my account capital in this name, if not for earnings. FTNT, the buy stop is on the books and ready to go with FTNT. So FTNT's buy stop after today's session is legit and still on the books. CDTX, one more down day. I'm putting a buy stop above this high. So you guys all know what I'm doing before I do it. NPCE, continue to build out that handle. Vert, nothing for me to do here. Chewy, no handle, no trade. IRS, not interested. SMMT, not interested. Vion, it's not, symmetry-wise, it's not there. Dash triggered and filled this week, but sat back immediately. What did I do? 50% of my sell stops below this low. My final sell stop is here. 50% of what remains is here. 100% is right there. So Dash triggered and filled this week. TGS, thinking about a handle, but TGS doesn't have the fundamentals that I like to really load the boat. So if I do risk 1R on this trade, it would just be to the 21 EMA. TPL rolling over. QFIN, no real setup there. KINS, no real setup there. LMB, no setup there. So I'm going to wrap the video lesson up there. None of the stocks that were on this scan last week fell off this week. I didn't remove any. And I'm going to keep MSTR on there until it fails the 50 SMA on heavy volume. So MSTR will stay on. EAT was the only new one this week. And EAT also happens to be a legitimate new swing signal. Once again, enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. I'll see you back here next Friday.